the one who had him in bondage is no longer there. But because the one that had him in bondage is still in his mind, folk that enslave you don't have to be with you to keep you. Don't hurt them, Hammer. There are some folk that have walked away from you, but they still got you. Oh, I know you ain't gonna say amen right through it here. Walked away 5 years ago, but you still act like you married to them. Fired you 2 years ago, but you still act like you own that job. I know you can't shout through it here right about now, because a whole lot of us cannot enjoy the liberty of the rejection because they walked away, but they got your mind. So you wake up every morning free but frowning, free but mad, free but negative, free but don't know how to speak to nobody, free but don't tell God thank you for another day, because the enemy still has your mind. So that's what the enemy does. He says, you know what? I don't care if you go to church. I don't care if you carry a Bible. I don't care if you jump and shout. If I'm in your mind, when I get ready, I'll trigger your mind and shut down your joy. Because if he can get your mind, he can make you crawl. He'll fix it so you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think straight. Every time you get ready to eat, he'll put something in your mind that makes you push the food back. Every time you get ready to shout, he'll put that person in your mind and make you fold your arms. Because if he can get in your mind, he can get control of you. I need to deliver somebody from the mental bondage you are still in. Even though you are physically free, you still refer to what you went through. You still allow yourself to be caught up in what used to be and who you used to be. But you are free, which means you are available for new blessings. But God can't give them to you because you'll treat the new things like the old things, because you're free with your body, but you're a slave in your mind. God says you need to learn how to leave the former things where they are. Thank God for what you learned from it. Move on in thanksgiving for the season of teaching that was yours while you were there. But would you push your neighbor and tell him, get it off your mind? Now that was the wrong. Tell him, get it off your mind. Don't you miss your blessing thinking about what you went through or what you used to be. I'm not a former anything. That might be good psychology, but it ain't good theology. I am not an ex-nothing. That might be good psychology, but that's not good theology. In theology, if it's over, then it's over. In theology, putting those things behind me, I press. In theology, old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become new. I ain't recovering from nothing. I am recovered. I am set free, because in theology, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. And I refuse to let you keep me in what God delivered me from by trying to remind me of it. As a matter of fact, every time you remind me of what I used to be, you ain't gonna do nothing but make me shout. Because when you remind me of what I used to be, I'm gonna look at what I am and I'm gonna start shouting over how far God brought me. Now, can I go to the end of the story? The end of the story tells us what happened to the Amalekites. The end of the story tells us what happened with David's 400. But we're never told, Pastor Senior, what happened to the former slave. We're never told what happened to this brother who used to be something different. But can I use my sanctified imagination? The Bible says that he was leading the march down to the valley. I can imagine when he got to the top of the mountain that the Amalekites who left him looked up in the sun and started rubbing their eyes and said, said, wait a minute, that looks like, no, that can't be him. We left him to die. They nudged the other person and said, hey, don't that look like? They said, no, that can't be him, because the one we left was looking mighty weak. The one we left was looking mighty wimpy. The one we left was looking like a punk. But the one that I see looks like he's been restored. That can't be him. But can I tell you why they don't really recognize him? Because if he's on top of the mountain and they're in the valley, they're viewing him from the perspective of the sun that's shining down. Y'all missed that. They ain't looking at him by just who he is, but they see him as he reflects off of the sun. Can I shout somebody? When your enemies see you, let them see you smile, because when they see you, you're reflecting off of the sun. I ain't talking about the S-U-N. I'm talking about the S-O-N. When you run into your enemies, put your best clothes on. Go get your hair done. Put on some nice perfume. Put on some 5-inch pumps and walk right by them and let them scratch their head and tell them, it's me. I'm the same person. You just don't recognize me because I've been set free and I'm walking in the sun. Good afternoon, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. If you ain't got no sweetheart, just walk in the sun. If ain't nobody send you chocolate, just walk in the sun. If ain't nobody send you roses, just walk in the sun. If you're crying because last year you went out on a date, take yourself out, just you and the sun, and say, I'm better than what I used to be. Is there anybody in this house who can say, I'm not who I was? I'm not what I was. The Lord has brought me through many dangers, toil and snares. I have already come. Is there anybody in here who can wave your hand and say, God, I thank you that I'm not who I used to be. God, I thank you that I'm not what I used to be. You picked me up, turned me around, put a new song in my heart, put a new talk on my tongue, and I got to praise you for how far you brought me. I got to praise you for what you made out of me. I got to praise you for what you taught me. I wish you'd hug somebody and tell your neighbor, walk in the sun, so that when people see you, they got to see you in the light of the sun. And don't you get worried, you're not by yourself. He walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me that I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other, none other. I'm not who I used to be. When you see me, don't get confused. It's still me. You just confused because you left me in a worse condition. Listen to me. Before I do anything, there's some people in here